I said, Sun Devils currently sitting at number 20 outside of that top 16 that would be seeded for regionals like they have been the past couple of years, but still an opportunity to get in if they can perform really well. However, ASU only has one score above 197 thus far this season. So we'll see what they can do here tonight against Southern Connecticut. It's senior night, as all the feels, all the emotions, a huge senior class as lineups are being announced right now for ASU. And now everyone getting ready to start warming up and getting out here for the opening event of the night, opening rotation, excuse me. ASU, as the home team, as always, will be starting on vault. Southern Connecticut, they will be on bars for the start of tonight's competition. A little bit of a last-minute lineup change that came in from earlier. ASU on vault will go Jada Mangahas, Emily White, Hallie Gregoire, Gracie Reeves, Hannah Scharf, and Anaya Smith. Southern Connecticut on bars will go Kylie City, Gabriella Diniso, Audrey Arnold, Sophia Rucker, JC Jordan, and Gigi Mastalone. Looking at ASU's vault lineup, one thing to notice, Emily White in the vault lineup for the first time in a long time. It'll be her second time competing vault this season, but still has not been prevalent in this vault lineup. What can she maybe bring in, having someone who's maybe fresh on the event and hasn't had the same experience that the rest of the team has all season long?
Yeah, so especially since Emily's in that senior spot, she has all the experience in the world competing. She knows what to expect. She knows how to use the crowd's energy. So although she hasn't done this event very much this season, I expect a big vault from her. She's one of the strongest competitors on the Arizona State team, and she's got a really strong Yurchenko layout full. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do tonight.
Last time White competed, vault was at Denver way back January 14th. That's about 2 months ago, in just ASU's second meet of the season. That was also the only time she's competed the all-around this season, what she will be doing again here tonight. And then looking at the other side for Southern Connecticut, they are a team that is having not a super strong season. They are far out of the regionals competition, but looking to get into the NCGA Nationals. They're currently 7th in their conference, and this past Wednesday, in their earlier meet against Arizona, they scored a 48.5 on the event, and they are a team that's ranked in the top 65 in the country in terms of that event. So they're looking to put up some good scores here as well. And here, teams are beginning their touch warm-ups as they get ready. And for a team like Southern Connecticut, this is also their last meet of the season. They're the road team, so they're not getting to celebrate their seniors quite in the same way. What is it like for a team like that when you're the road team at another school's senior night?
You know, it's emotional for you as well because they've got seniors on their team, so they know what this experience is like. It's one of their last competitions heading into the postseason as well. So just like Arizona State, they're going to want to put up a top score going into the postseason. But it's emotional for their seniors as well because it's one of their last competitions at an away meet of their careers. So I'm sure they'll be trying to embrace the small moments while putting up a big score as well.
And as I mentioned at the top of the show, for ASU, lots of seniors and their lineup. Southern Connecticut, a little bit of a younger team, a lot more freshmen that make it into the lineup, but still a few seniors here and there. Looking to the Sun Devils, though, they'll look to build on their performances from last week's meet against UCLA. Last weekend on vault, they scored just a 49-1-5. Not their greatest score, but helped them continue their streak of 20 meets in a row in which they've scored a 49 on that event. Heather, what's going to be crucial for them tonight and pushing that streak to 21?
Yeah, so they, especially with this late lineup change in vault with Emily White, you know, we really want to see each student athlete build upon one another. So I'm expecting particularly a huge vault from Anaya Smith. She's got one of the biggest vaults on the Arizona State team with a Yurchenko full and a half. It's a blind landing at the end, extremely competitive, and she has stuck it time and time again. So I'm really looking forward to that vault this evening.
Anaya has competed on vault every single meet for this team. Had a nice vault in last weekend's meet against UCLA at 9.875 is as part of that lineup. And you mentioned her, Yurchenko, 1.5. She's one of a few 10-0 start value vaults that ASU has, as Jay Santos and company have tried to make that particular part of their rotation more competitive with some of the top teams, not only in the Pac-12 in the country, and adding more points that they can work towards in their vault lineup.
Yeah, certainly. Each year it seems like they've added more difficult vaults to the lineup, which is a credit to the coaches and the team, their ability to continue to build like that and get better. It's really inspiring to watch.
Fans still settling in here and there inside Desert Financial Arena, as still about 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the warm-ups for the athletes. Lots of energy in Desert Financial Arena. Not only is it senior night, but it is also Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Night, a cause that is special to this ASU team and something that they have championed in years past as they have held this annual competition. So bringing in a lot of fun things, or a lot of notable things here in tonight's meet. Still just a few more moments getting ready to go. Lots of experience in this lineup for ASU. The only gymnast who did not compete in the lineup last week is Emily, who has only competed once this season, but has completed on vault plenty of times in the past. Competed on the all-around in almost every meet last year for the Sun Devils. And with that, time has ticked down and we are ready to go for the first rotation of the night. Once again, the lineups leading off for ASU on vault: Jada Mangahas, followed by Emily White, Hallie Gregoire, Gracie Reeves, Hannah Scharf, and Naya Smith. And then an exhibition will be performed by Lilia Perler as a 7th gymnast who will compete. Southern Connecticut will go Kylie City, Gabriella Diniso, Aubrey Arnold, Sophia Rucker, JC Jordan, Gigi Mastalone, and an exhibition from Shreya Munchie. So here is Jada Mangahas ready to go and get this senior night started for the Sun Devils.
Jada's really stepped up this season, competing in more lineups, but she's been a solid competitor on vault. Opening up with a huge Yurchenko layout full, a small hop backward, but you know, she's one of those athletes on vault that she stays straight throughout the entire full twist. That was a really nice vault to start for the Sun Devils.
That'll take us over to bars, where Kylie City is ready to go for the leadoff routine for Southern Connecticut.
Opening up with a Ginger right into an overshoot. A little bit of form break on that connection, but incredibly difficult to perform. And a stuck landing. That'll be a huge score for Southern Connecticut.
Both of these teams getting a good start. Jada Mangahas comes in at a 9.775 for her leadoff routine. Next up on vault, Emily White.
Another Yurchenko layout full and a small hop backward, but a really consistent vault. That was exactly what the team could have asked for from Emily.
White, a bit of a late addition to the lineup, but has the veteran presence and ability to come in, get it done, and help her team out.
And that's exactly what Arizona State could have asked from Emily.
That'll bring up Gabriella Diniso on bars for the Owls. Still waiting for the score from City's leadoff routine. Emily White's score coming in also a 9.775. So back-to-back 9.775s to start for the Sun Devils.
I'm just waiting for, I think, a final score on bars.
And we'll get you the score in just a moment on City. A 9.65 from one judge and a 9.75 from the other, it appears. Although the judges conferencing. Potentially, I didn't see on the far end. I know the near side judge gave City a 9.9 start value. I don't know if that's what they're conferencing about. I don't know if the far side judge had a different start value.
Yeah, that would be my guess, because typically if the scores aren't if they're more than 0.3 apart, then it's an automatic conference. So since there's only a 1/10 apart, it must be that start value.
We'll see what the judges come away with and if there will be any change in the scores.
Yeah, and it looks like it was that start value being the issue. You know, it's always kind of an interesting experience when, as the student athlete, you're ready to go and you have to wait for the judges to give you that final salute. It's really a question of mental toughness. As you can see the student athlete going and rechalking, kind of staying warm, just want to relax those nerves and stay prepared.
Stay warm and stay loose and ready. Because you don't know how long this could take for them to figure out.
And you're just ready to go.
There you see Diniso stepping back onto the mat, and she will get to begin.
She'll put the front giant right into the overshoot. She'll get a bonus for that connection. And a stuck landing. You can hear the excitement from her teammates. Southern Connecticut starting off incredibly strong.
The leadoff routine from City scored a 9.65. Back-to-back sticks on the dismounts for the Owls. Here now is Hallie Gregoire, the freshman, ready to go on vault for ASU after the long delay.
That's just a shame that she just, that Yurchenko 4.5 is so difficult. It's a blind landing, meaning the student athletes don't see the floor before their feet hit the ground. And unfortunately, she just didn't have enough amplitude off the table to complete the 1.5 and land on her feet. ASU will hope to drop that score because when she doesn't land on her feet, that's an automatic 5/10 deduction.
Sun Devils halfway through their lineup will still have 3 more gymnasts compete with a chance to wipe off whatever Gregoire's score ends up being. And there you see the replay again, just didn't quite have enough to come around and land on her feet. The score for Gregoire at 9.25.
That was a fast score.
And next up on bars will be Audrey Arnold. Arnold last meet had a 9.325. That was this past Wednesday down in Tucson against Arizona.
She'll definitely want to change any errors that were made last week and hopefully implement them today so she can position herself well going into the postseason.
Still waiting for that second score to come in for Deniso. Looks like a 9-7-5 for Deniso in the second routine for the Owls. So scores building nicely for Southern Connecticut, as the first two gymnasts have passed what they did last week. Now here's Arnold.
Open up with a huge Jaeger, a little bit of form issues, but so far a really solid routine. Just a slight step backward on that landing, but a really consistent routine. I would have liked to see her hit handstands. What you're looking for is when the student athletes hit that cast handstand, they're right on top of the bar. So those were a little short, but a really solid routine.
Now here's Gracie Reeves, tucked Yurchenko 1.5, looking to get ASU back on track after the fall by Gregoire.
A huge vault for Gracie. Was that a stuck landing?
I won't give her the stick. I think the more concern is, did she go outside the white line to her left?
That'll be up to the judge's discretion, I think. But a really good vault, and coming after that fall from that previous 1.5, that's exactly what Arizona State needed. This vault had to hit. You see she had a little bit of form issue when she hit the table, but cleaned it up through the tuck 1.5 twist.
Had the little hop forward. Not quite the stick, and landings have been something that head coach Jay Santos has hammered in terms of the details that his team has needed work on.
Especially going into postseason, the devil's in the details going into Pac-12 championships and NCAA regionals, and then hopefully NCAA championships. These student athletes are going to want to clean up the minor things like those stuck landings.
Another quick score in for the Sun Devils, a 9-8-7-5 for Gracie Reeves. Arnold, a 9-6-7-5. Here's Sophia Rucker.
Huge release here with a Shaposh straight into the pack salto. And a stuck landing. This has been such an impressive rotation for Southern Connecticut. You can see how excited the team is. I think they might be on track to hit a event high on bars.
Vault is statistically their second best event. It was their best this past Wednesday.
Now we have Hannah Scharf on vault, expecting a huge Yurchenko layout full, and that is exactly what she delivers with a stuck landing.
Can't ask for a better vault from Scharf. It's senior night, you have all the energy, you need to help save your lineup, and that's a great vault to get from her right there.
I love this pop off the table she gets, and she is just rock solid on that landing. She knows exactly where she is in the air to position her feet and drill it down. A fantastic vault from Hannah Scharf.
Coming up next on bars, JC Jordan as we await incoming scores. Hannah Scharf a 9-9 on vault. First 9-9 plus routine of the night. Meanwhile, on bars, Sophia Rucker earns a 9-6-7-5. Here's Jordan.
right into that huge jigger connected to the overshoot. That'll be huge bonus for Southern Connecticut. A little bit short on that last handstand. And a slight hop forward, which will be a little deduction, but really clean routines, back-to-back, no major errors. I think that's exactly what they're looking to do tonight.
Huge routine from Jordan. Last meet had a 9.775. We'll look to match that or even surpass it here at DFA. And coming up next, the anchor for this Sun Devil vault lineup, Anaya Smith, a huge Yurchenko 1.5.
And a fantastic Yurchenko 1.5 from Anaya Smith. A small step on that landing, but she has just been crazy good on this event all season. I love how she gets that massive amplitude off the table. She was going for that stick, a little step to the left, but she was so clean throughout the air. That should be a huge score for ASU.
Smith is specialist on vault throughout the entirety of her career, and a 9.95 from one judge and 9.9 from the other. That'll average out to a 9.925 for Anaya Smith in the anchor position. Great work from the Sun Devils in that first rotation. Southern Connecticut looks to finish their rotation off. They've had a solid rotation in their own right, and now here's Gigi Massillone coming to anchor this bars rotation for the Owls. Massillone, just a freshman, but already has earned that anchor spot at 9.875 on Wednesday.
We can expect a huge routine here. Opening up with a massive Tkachev right into that pack salto. Absolutely beautiful. I love her form on this event. She's a super clean athlete. Straight legs and pointed toes throughout the routine. A small hop on that landing, but very impressive routine.
Really nice anchor routine for Southern Connecticut. Finishing off a couple exhibitions for both teams. So while we wait for Massallone's score to come in and give you the final on this event, we'll take a look at Lilia Perler on vault for ASU.
Half on front tuck off, slight step backward, a really good vault. And you know, these exhibitions are great for the student athletes to get used to the competition environment, especially early in their career, like Perler's a freshman. Just that small step backward. I would have liked to see her get a little bit higher off the table into that front tuck, but definitely looking forward to seeing her contribute in the vault lineup moving forward.
Southern Connecticut also has an exhibition. Shreya Munchie will compete the extra routine. That last score from J.C. Jordan, a 9.75, and Massillone comes in with a 9.8 to close out the routine for the Owls. So ASU, they finished their first rotation with a 49.25. Southern Connecticut with Massallone's score a 48.65.
Another huge release move with that Tkachev. Now this score, in addition to Perler's, will not count toward the team's overall total. Another really strong routine. It's great to have those student athletes in the 7, 8, and 9 lineup spots because you never know what's going to happen, especially heading into postseason. It's crucial that there are girls in these lineup positions that are ready to go.
So some pretty clean gymnastics on both sides. through the first rotation. Sun Devils lead 49-25 to 48-65. We'll take a break and step aside while the two teams get ready to switch events. Back inside Desert Financial Arena, Tia Reed and Heather Udowich on the call. ASU senior night taking on Southern Connecticut. Sun Devils finished the first rotation with a 49-5, and moving on to the second rotation, ASU will be on bars and Southern Connecticut on vault. They'll switch sides. ASU solid in their first rotation, led by a 9.925 by Anaya Smith in that first rotation for them. For Southern Connecticut, the highlight was Gigi Mastalone in the anchor spot at a 9.8.
Vault has been ASU's best event throughout the season. They're ranked 15 on that event right now. Bars is a little bit behind that, ranked at 26th. So I know they're going to be looking to build, because traditionally bars is one of ASU's stronger events.
Sun Devils also had a 49-15 on this event last week against UCLA. Sarah Clark tied for the event title with a 9.9. She is back in the lineup and in the anchor spot for the Sun Devils today. And after the rotation, touch warm-ups once again beginning here inside DFA. ASU, pretty similar bars lineup as what we've seen in the past. Cassie Barbonente, followed by Sienna Samily, Hannah Scharf, Jada Mangahas, Emily White, and Sarah Clark. And then Gracie Reeves will compete in exhibition. On vault for Southern Connecticut, it'll be Ava Kelly, Libby Allen, Kylie City, Sophia Rucker, Brianna Dorr, and Lexi Brocker. Sun Devils getting warm. Samily did not compete in the vault lineup last week, but a bars specialist for the Sun Devils has competed her fair share of routines in the last 4 years. She's one of those seniors being recognized here at tonight's meet.
You'll see so many of the seniors making up lineups tonight. Like Hannah Scharf right now, who's doing her touch warm-up on bars.
Scharf, another experienced gymnast on bars who hasn't competed in every single meet on the event this year. And when it's something like that, how do you balance when you're going in and out of the lineups at a couple of different points throughout the season?
You know, sometimes when you're a senior or fifth-year senior like Hannah, it's kind of nice to have those breaks, because you've done these skills for so many years that your body needs to physically recover. So you can be a little bit more selective when you're competing for big moments where you can really contribute to a team score. It's really smart gymnastics when you have either aches and pains or whatever the case may be, to be a little bit more selective in when you're competing in those lineups. And I think that might have been what we've seen this year, especially when ASU has the depth with other student athletes that can fill those spots.
And gymnastics, you mentioned it, not a sport that is easy on the body at all. So for athletes like Hannah Scharf and Gracie Reeves to be in their 5th year competing at this high of a level, being able to make lineups and help contribute to this team that is a team that regularly makes it to the postseason, just means a lot in terms of setting up future generations of Sun Devil gymnastics for success. Of course, 2 of them allowed the extra year of eligibility by way of the extra COVID year given to student athletes across the NCAA from the 2020 season.
What a massive shift, the student athlete experience. We're seeing so many more 5th years because of that COVID year throughout all sports. But, it is rare in gymnastics just because of the physical wear and tear of the sport, comparably with some of the other sports that we see. So definitely it's so impressive that student athletes like Gracie Reeves and Hannah Scharf are coming back for 5th years and contributing to the team in such a massive way.
And no indication from any of this year's seniors, but all of them are a part of the last class of athletes that will have the opportunity to take a 5th year if they so choose. So while they will be celebrated, there's a potential we could see some of these gymnasts still next year, but certainly for Hannah Scharf and Gracie Reeves, this will be their last time in DFA. 15 seconds left until the rotation officially begins. Southern Connecticut will get us started with Ava Kelly competing her first routine of the night. Kelly, a sophomore for the Owls, at a 9.625 on Wednesday.
ASU half off. Was that a half twist or a full twist? I might have to see the replay for that. A really strong start for Southern Connecticut. I liked she had really nice tight shapes throughout the air. So not a lot of form breaks on a vault.
We'll go to bars with Cassie Barbonente.
And she has had such a great year on this event. She's battled throughout injuries throughout her career and has just come back stronger than ever, particularly on uneven bars.
Barbonente, a staple in the leadoff spot on bars this year for ASU.
Opening up with that huge connection, Jaeger straight into that overshoot, really clean. A little bit short on that last handstand. And a stuck landing to start off Arizona State strong on uneven bars.
And you can see how happy Santos gets when he sees his athletes stick their landings. It's something that he emphasizes and pushes forward, and so he's super excited when it all comes together for him.
Absolutely.
Following Kelly, here's Libby Allen ready to go for the Owls. Kelly at 9.725 in the leadoff spot.
Another Suk on full twist off. And a great landing.
So it should be another solid score coming in for Southern Connecticut.
So that small hop backward, but a really clean vault, especially on vault where you prefer to see the student athletes hop backward. It's a little bit less of a deduction than if they were to hop forward, and that's exactly what she did. She had all that power, was able to control the landing.
Barbonente leads off with a 9.8 for ASU. Allen comes in with a 9.7 for the Owls in their second spot. Here's Sienna Samley returning back to the lineup.
Beautiful Jaeger straight into that overshoot. She is a very artistic athlete on this event. Just has the dismount. A slight step back, but a really clean routine from Sienna. You can see that double layout. Nice toe point, just that small step on that landing, but a really clean routine for Arizona State.
And right back in the lineup, Sienna Samley gets it done. Another solid routine. Now it's Kylie City.
Our first Yurchenko half on and back flip off. A small hop on that landing, but really clean. I would like to see a little bit more speed throughout the vault. Really good rotation off the table.
And the Owls building up a little bit throughout their routines. First two were 9.9 start value. City comes in with a 9.95 start value in that number 3 spot.
Hopefully these scores continue to reflect that and they build on one another.
Samily score at 9.825 for ASU brings up Hannah Scharf.
And Hannah has a massive release move. She really floats from the high bar to the low bar throughout. We'll see it opening up with this huge shaposh straight into that pack salto. That's just super uncharacteristic for Hannah. I've never seen her make that mistake on bars, not in warm-up, not in a competition setting, certainly. Now she'll have to repeat that skill in order to get the bonus heading into her dismount. So we'll see her remount the high bar and re-perform that connection. A small step forward.
Scharf finishes the routine. So once again, the Sun Devils will have a fall that they will need to wipe off the board for this rotation. Here, Sophia Rucker.
Another Yurchenko. This will be a tuck full and a small hop backward. She was a little bit high on that entry in the Yurchenko, but got pretty good amplitude off for that tuck full twist and just that small hop on the landing.
The score for Cydia 9.725. Awaiting the score for Hannah Scharf as we wait to see what the judges give her. Regardless, you mentioned it earlier with Gregoire, an automatic 5/10 deduction for a fall.
We'll see 6 student athletes compete and 5 scores count, so it's crucial that the remaining Sun Devils hit the rest of their routine so they can drop Hannah's score.
9.275 officially for Scharf, 9.725 for Rucker over on vault. So Southern Connecticut staying consistent.
See Jada Mangahas on bars. Showing up with a huge pike Jaeger right into that overshoot. You saw that connection earlier from Cassie and Sienna. They've all performed it beautifully. Just gearing up for the dismount. Huge full in and a stuck landing. A huge routine for Jada Mangahas.
Talk about a way to come back. That was, you said it, a huge routine, a phenomenal landing on the dismount for Mangahas. That's how you pick up your teammates after you get a mistake in the lineup.
Absolutely. That was a critical routine for Arizona State, and Jada certainly delivered. As we move back to vault, another Yurchenko tuck full, a hop backward, but she had great amplitude off the table. She had a little bit more control on the landing. That would have been a little bit of a higher score, but a really impressive vault for Dorr. I loved how high she got off the table for that tuck full twist.
Brianna Dorr looking to bring another good score. Jada Mangahas following the fall from Hannah Scharf will go at 9.925. Right back in that number 4 spot. 2 routines left. Emily White coming up next for the Sun Devils. White getting some tips from head coach Santos right now before she gets up on the bar.
And Emily is just absolutely beautiful on this apparatus. We'll see some really unique release moves right here. She opens up with a huge chapeau half, incredibly difficult. Beautiful overshoot right into that handstand. double out and a stuck landing. She didn't give the judges any room to write for deductions. That was just about as good as it gets. An absolutely beautiful routine for Emily White. A huge double A dismount and a stuck landing. You can see her teammates in the crowd erupt. That was just stunning.
Similar to Manga Haas, not missing a beat, Emily White. Here's Lexi Brocker as the anchor.
A huge vaulter. Yurchenko layout full. She was a little high on that table, so I don't think she was able to get the most amplitude for her layout full. You can see here, really controlled vault though. I loved how she was able to stay straight throughout the air.
A 9.95 for Emily White on this event. That's a new personal best. And how fun is it to get that on your senior night?
It doesn't get any better than that. That was beautiful.
So with scores building, that will bring Sarah Clark up, who is also capable of throwing some huge scores on this event.
Sarah is one of the most artistic gymnasts on this event. She just has beautiful lines throughout. It's a really smooth bar worker. She'll open up here with a Jaeger. A little bit close to the bar while she caught it. Just has the dismount left. A small hop backward, but an incredibly clean routine for Arizona State. That's exactly what they needed from the anchor, Sarah Clark. So we see the double layout dismount here. Just that slight hop, but a beautiful routine.
Sun Devils keep on rolling. Lexi Brocker as the anchor, a 9.775. So second straight event, Southern Connecticut will finish with a 48.65. Once again, an exhibition. This time only the Sun Devils have one, and it's Gracie Reeves getting a chance up on the uneven bars. Sun Devils finished, haven't gotten their final score come across yet. Excuse me, waiting to see what Clark gets, and it's a 9.85.
A really solid score for Arizona State, so they'll be able to drop Hannah Scharf's routine. Now this score will not count towards the team, but what a great moment for Gracie to enjoy senior night and have another opportunity to compete in DFA or Wells Fargo Arena. Huge Jaeger right into that overshoot. Really nice handstand going into the dismount. Just that small step on the landing, but you saw her really embrace her final salute.
Great routine for Gracie as the exhibition. Sun Devils a 49.35, so they outdo their score from vault with bars, in addition to being a 49.35 for the 20th meet in a row. ASU scores above a 49 on bars. That's a new program record, and showing how consistent that record obviously dates back to last season. So the Sun Devils having a great start to their meet. Southern Connecticut performing well as well. Now going to the third rotation, ASU will be on beam. The Owls will be on floor. We'll see what they can bring when we come back. Halfway through this meet here in Desert Financial Arena, Sun Devils leading 98-6 to 97-3 after a 49.35 total event score on bars, and it was highlighted by Emily White and Jada Mangahas and what the two of them were able to do following the fall from Hannah Scharf. Mangajas and White were their routines really helped pick up this Sun Devil lineup. Stellar landings from the two of them and what they were able to do. Mangajas at 9.925, White a career high 9.95 in the 5th spot on that rotation.
ASU's had a couple uncharacteristic mistakes on these first 2 events, a fall-on vault and a fall-on bars, but that's not reflected in the score because the rest of the lineup was able to hit their routines and finish up incredibly strong and get the job done ultimately.
So now they will move to beam, where they will be led off by Kayla Lee, then Gracie Reeves, Jada Mangajas, Sarah Clark, Hannah Scharf, and Emily White. Southern Connecticut on floor, Erica Beyer, Sophia Rucker, Ava Kelly, Kylie City, Libby Allen, and then Alexa Melanson. Sky Harper and Hannah Zebdi will be performing exhibitions for their respective teams. Getting into the latter half of this meet, beam in the past has not been the Sun Devils event, but this year ranked 21st coming into tonight's competition on that event. Heather, why is it important for ASU to continue to build on their beam scores moving to the postseason?
Beam is one of those events where if you are off just by a millimeter, it can be catastrophic to the team's final score. But, you know, you've really got to trust your training and maintain your composure throughout the event and throughout the entirety of the lineups. Can't get ahead of yourself, just got to stay consistent. So every competition, beam can be the make or break event for a team.
Yes.
Especially going into postseason, those bigger crowds, bigger events, you don't know where you're going to land for NCAA regionals. So it's really crucial that they are able to hit consistently going into the postseason and feel that confidence for the remainder of the year.
ASU barely getting over 49 in last week's meet against UCLA, scored a 49.025. That was due to the fact that Jada Mangajas suffered a fall, and then Hannah Scharf went 9.675. Both of the two of them will be looking to improve greatly upon last week's performances and helping their team put up another solid beam score here tonight.
One of my favorite things about ASU on beam is their confidence. None of them look shaky on the event. They are all sure of themselves. You can see throughout the routines when they go into each and every skill, they are prepared with no doubts. They're really quick beam workers, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking for tonight.
On the other hand, for the Owls, a 48.45 against Arizona on Wednesday. They'll look to improve upon that score. Under 50 seconds now before we get into the routines. Final athletes taking their touch warm-ups. Beam, another event for ASU that is heavily dominated by seniors. Kayla Lee will lead off, and then the rest of the athletes are either seniors or fifth years.
And Kayla Lee has been phenomenal in that leadoff position. It's really hard to be in that spot because right after you finish warming up, you have to go straight into competing. So not a lot of time to mentally prepare. And she's one of those student athletes that can turn around quickly and throw up a really big score. We're expecting a strong start from her.
Lee, just a sophomore, but has confidently held on to this leadoff spot since her freshman year last year. Does a great job with setting the tone on this event, and we'll see her later on floor as well doing the same.
beautiful leap series that split leap right into the full turn. She'll get a connection bonus for that. She gears up for a triple series. Big skill back hitch position right into that layout, and she stuck it cold. Sheep jump, incredibly difficult because you take your eyes off the beam. She had a slight balance check and step back just a little bit, but a really nice connection. Just getting ready for the dismount. And a stuck landing. Just an amazing lead off for ASU.
So the Sun Devils continuing to get solid routines. Keep building energy, building momentum here inside DFA. First up on floor is Erica Beyer for Southern Connecticut. A 9-6 on Wednesday. We'll see what she's able to do here tonight.
Southern Connecticut has had such a great start on the first two events, so I'm excited to see what they're able to do on floor. Opening up with a huge double back. I love how she landed that really straight up and down. That's what you're going to be looking for in those landings. You don't want to see them bent over at the waistline. Just has the last pass. A front full and a half, and that was just great. She had a little bit of form issues throughout her tumbling passes, but such a strong routine. I loved how she was able to land each pass really cleanly. As we move on to beam with Gracie Reeves. Just such a consistent student athlete on this event. Also open up with a triple series. Huge connection here. With a great finish. Front aerial stuck solid. This has just been a great routine for Gracie. And your round off one half, stuck finish. She stuck every single skill beautifully in that routine. Huge routine for Gracie Reeves.
Should be a good score for Reeves on the heels of a 9.875 from Kayla Lee on floor. A 9.7 it appears for Erica Beyer. And the lead off now, Sophia Rucker will get her chance.
She'll open up with a huge round off double pike. great middle pass, round off 1.5 straight into the front tuck. Really cleanly done. She'll finish with a round-off double back, a little bit short on that landing. You saw her hands almost touch the ground, but she was able to save it, so it won't count as a fall, but it will be a deduction.
So we'll see what that score is. Really solid up until that final pass. Gracie Reeves comes in at a 9-9 on beam, matches her career high for the Sun Devils. Now Jada Mangahas will go. Like I mentioned, looking to improve upon the 9.05 she had last week.
Jada's a really crisp performer on this event. Some gymnasts are more fluid. She is really makes each moment count. You can see her finish and hold that landing after her series. A slight balance check after that leap connection. Gets right back on track with that solid front toss. A slight step backward on the landing, but a really clean routine. You know, the balance check was pretty uncharacteristic, but that'll just be a really small deduction.
Either way, it'll be an improvement on last week's performance. Rucker at 9.65 on floor for Southern Connecticut. Mangahas, one of 3 Sun Devils slated to compete in the all-around today, along with Scharf and White. Now we'll take a look at Ava Kelly on floor.
Opening up with a 3 acro connection pass, really unique. Great double tuck, a little bit of the hop on that landing, but she's had really great endurance throughout this routine to make a huge double back as her second pass. Another great routine for Southern Connecticut. You know, one of the things that I've been most impressed with them tonight is that there haven't been any massive errors for the team on any of the events.
Southern Connecticut certainly having a good night. Here's Sarah Clark.
And just like on bars, she is beautiful in this event. Really elegant beam worker. It's like you can take a picture of every movement she does.
Mangahas' score came in as a 9-8 for the Sun Devils.
Another triple series, and it is rock solid. I love how she just floated throughout that skill. Great front aerial. Just the dismount, which is really unique. She comes off right here, gainer front full, and that slight step backward, but so solid throughout the entirety of that routine. That's just as good as I've seen Sarah Clark compete. She stuck every skill on the routine, just had this small step on that landing, but such a beautiful beam worker.
Sarah Clark looking for a good score. Ava Kelly a 9.75 on floor. Next up will be Kylie City as the Sun Devils. They look to keep rolling through on beam, already off to a great start to the first 4 routines. And Clark score in already, a 9.9 for Sarah Clark, continuing to build a great day, a 9.85 from bars earlier.
She has had such a great day today. Opening up with a huge front tuck straight into that double pike. And she's unfortunately stepped out of bounds, so that will be a deduction. But a great opening pass. Just getting ready for that final pass. First with another double back and a stuck landing. Another great routine for Southern Connecticut.
City finishes up her routine. That'll take us back to beam where Hannah Scharf looks to recover from her 9.275 on bars. Also looking to outdo last week's score of a 9.675.
Beautiful wolf turn to start off her routine. Slight balance check, but she moves right along. Side semi, incredibly difficult skill, and she performs it with ease. Round off one and a stuck landing puts Hannah Scharf back on track. That's what we're used to seeing from this student athlete. A super solid routine and great artistry.
So that'll certainly get Scharf back on track. And you see in the background of that replay, Kylie City a 9.7 on floor. Libby Allen is next for the Owls. At a 9.725 just this past Wednesday.
beautiful double pike. I loved her form in the air. You saw no form breaks and a great stuck landing. Gearing up for her final pass. With a huge double tuck, this should be a big score for Southern Connecticut. You can hear her teammates erupting on the sidelines. That was such a great routine.
They're super excited about that routine, as they should be. Now Emily White coming in to anchor for ASU. Already a 49.4, looking to drop a 9.8. We'll see if she can do it.
She won this event last weekend and has been fantastic on beam all season long. A beautiful back handspring layout step out. I love how she just floated in the air and stuck that landing. Beautiful leap series. She has just been exquisite throughout the entirety of this routine. Fighting for that stuck landing. That was an incredible routine for Emily White. So beautiful. I didn't see a single deduction throughout the routine until that little wobble on that landing.
Well, the team is certainly calling for the 10. I don't know how that factors in, her leaning off to the side. Didn't move the foot, but obviously not the cleanest landing in the world. Coming on the heels of a 9.925 from Scharf. We'll see if White was able to wipe off that 9.8. I think she was, and that'd be a huge beam score. A 9.875 for Allen in the 5 spot. So Alexa Mellinson will come and finish off this rotation for Southern Connecticut.
Student athletes are really able to show off their personalities throughout their floor exercise. One of the most fun events to compete as a student athlete. A little bit of a form issue throughout that second pass with kind of a weird step on that landing, but was able to remain standing. Last pass, a front 1.5. Really nicely done. Such a solid rotation for Southern Connecticut.
They're absolutely doing a phenomenal job out there. 9.95 was the score for Emily White. We'll take you over to beam in just a second. Sky Harper getting started with an exhibition. She's another one of those seniors, competed on beam in I think every meet for ASU last season. Hasn't quite been as prevalent in the lineups this year, but still a solid option for them to go to.
Really nice leap connection for Sky Harper. She has been so clean throughout the entirety of this routine. Just the dismount with a gainer full and a stuck landing. Such a beautiful routine for Sky Harper. As you can see her embracing this moment with her teammates.
Harper, someone who has had experience at all the different levels. Her first routine that she ever did collegiately was at regionals for the Sun Devils 2 years ago. So she knows what it's like to step up for them if she ever needs to be ready. And by competing great exhibition, she stays ready for that position. Alexa Mellinson at 9.775 in the anchor spot for Southern Connecticut. Sun Devils did indeed wipe away that 9.8 with, like I mentioned, Emily White, her second 9.95. A 49.55 for ASU on beam, a massive score, their best of the season on the event. Hannah Zebdi competing in exhibition now on floor for Southern Connecticut.
Okay, with a great first pass. Slight step out of bounds. You saw her right foot step on the gray border of the floor, so that'll be a slight deduction, but this routine will not count towards the team's final score because it is the exhibition routine. But Southern Utah, from top to bottom, including their exhibition student athletes, have been rock solid today. Not a lot of errors, just slight minor issues like stepping out of bounds like we just saw, or some form breaks, but they have had such great performances throughout the day.
So the Owls finish at a 48.8 on floor. Like I mentioned, the Sun Devils a huge 49.55 as they get ready to go to the last rotation. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from both sides in this last rotation. We have the tumbling pass from Mellinson. And both of these teams performing really well up to this point in the meet. It's been a fun one here this far. Sun Devils lead 148-105 to 146-1. We'll take a break and get ready as we get ready for the last rotation. Rotation remaining here inside Desert Financial Arena. Sun Devils getting ready for floor. Owls preparing for beam as we head to the final rotation. There's some of those highlights from that third rotation. Great scores for both sides, ASU on beam and Southern Connecticut on floor. Really just some solid gymnastics that we've seen throughout tonight though, Heather.
Yeah, it has been such a fantastic night of gymnastics, especially Arizona State on that beam rotation. Those were some of the best routines that I've seen from them all year long.
Certainly reflected in the score at a 49.55 as ASU is looking to put up a huge score going into the postseason. One more rotation left to go, and it's floor for them. As you see, there's their final Beam scores really picking up, building as you want to see. Gracie Reeves also had a 9.9, and then Clark 9.9, Sharp 9.925, and Emily White a 9.95.
This is exactly what you want to see from these student athletes heading into the postseason, their best performances of the year, so that they can really make it count for Pac-12 championships and then hopefully going into NCAA regionals to fight for a spot to NCAA championships.
Southern Connecticut getting ready on Beam. They had a rough go of it on Wednesday. Here are their floor scores. They're on a roll, having a nice night here tonight.
Yeah, this has been a huge night for Southern Connecticut. You see they're pretty much staying in that 9.7, 9.6 range, but this is going to be a great score for them heading into postseason. Really consistent routines throughout the year, so heading into Beam, this is a big event for them.
At a 47-6 on Wednesday, will really look to pick that up, and if they can do so, that'll be huge for them in putting together a nice score, as they're currently sitting at 146-1. For the Owls on Beam, they will line up Libby Allen, Emily Kale, Gabriella Diniso, Angelina Stanfa, Alexa Melanson, and then Angel Lee rounding things out. For ASU on floor, once again, Kayla Lee leading off, followed by Hallie Gregoire, then Kimberly Smith, her first routine of the night, and then once again, more seniors, Emily White, Jada Mangahas, and Hannah Scharf rounding it out, and extra gymnastics, as always, exhibition routines from both sides. Crowd getting excited, getting ready for this last routine. You got Gracie Reeves tossing some t-shirts into the stands.
They've got the seniors sashes on. You can see in the top of the screen, Sky Harper with her senior sash on. They're really just embracing these moments. Their final time in the arena. Last home meet as seniors.
And make sure you stick around after the meet. We'll be staying on the air for the senior night celebration and recognizing all 9 of the seniors that have put so much time and dedication into Sun Devil gymnastics over these last 4 and for the years.
About a minute left of this touch warm-up before they head into the final rotation.
ASU on floor looking best their score of 49-3 from last week, which is a pretty solid score for them. They're already on track to hit a really nice score here tonight. Just need to deliver on floor. Now, ASU in the past has had issues with stamina and working all the way through and putting 4 full rotations together. Did not have a fall on that last rotation like they did in the first 2. Heather, and what you're seeing from warm-ups, where do you think the Sun Devils could perform here tonight?
I'm expecting some big scores from Arizona State tonight. You know, to your point, they had some endurance issues on the floor exercise early in the season, but each meet they've really improved on that and been able to put up big scores, especially last weekend when they clinched the win against UCLA with a massive floor performance. So, you know, I'm really expecting them to build off of that really high-scoring beam rotation, heading into floor and using the momentum in the arena tonight.
So time is run out on the touch warm-ups. Libby Allen will get us started in this final rotation.
Start off on Beam for Southern Connecticut, and Beam is one of those events when you're traveling away with a new arena, new lights, new equipment, that 4 inches suddenly feels a lot smaller and a lot more intimidating. So definitely a crucial event to end on, as the away team So they'll really have to stay focused throughout the entirety of this rotation. Great opening series. Back handspring layup, step out straight into that leap connection. That'll be additional bonus. Libby has had such a great evening, particularly on floor exercise earlier tonight. Slight balance check on that full turn. And a stuck landing. Minus that little minor balance check, that was a huge routine for Libby Allen. Absolutely great start for Southern Connecticut.
Great start indeed, and that's what Kayla Lee will be looking to do for the final rotation DFA of her sophomore year.
Opening up here with a front double twist, a little bit short on that landing. Incredibly difficult. That's an E on the range of difficulty for skills. So it's additional bonus. A little bit of a hop out of that landing, but a really clean tumbling pass. Front 1.5 twist. That was a great ending pass. Really clean throughout the air and a sharp landing. A strong start for Kayla Lee and Arizona State on floor.
So both sides getting off to a strong start here in this first rotation. Next up, Emily Kale, her first routine of the night.
You can tell she's a really artistic athlete from how she moves from pose to pose throughout the routine, opening up with a series from real straight into that back handspring, done beautifully. A really solid beam worker. A slight hop, but was able to save that landing. A little bit short. I would have liked to see a little bit more speed into that dismount, but a really solid routine. See, she was a little hesitant going into it.
We'll see what score she gets following the 9.725 in the leadoff spot from Allen. Kayla Lee, not the ideal score you would expect from her at 9.675 leading off on floor. So a little bit of a need to pick up from Hallie Gregoire here in the number 2 spot.
She looks absolutely locked in for this routine. We'll see a huge opening pass. ankle twisting double back and a stuck landing. Incredibly difficult. She is such an electric performer on this event. You can see really crisp throughout each position, each pose throughout the routine. And she just looks so focused on this routine. Right into that back layout step out, beautiful. You see the excitement. And that was a huge routine.
Gregoire has been super consistent for ASU on this event, has scored a 9.85 in 6 out of the 8 floor routines she's done this year, had a 9.875 last week. So we'll see what she gets here tonight. Moving back to beam for Gabriella Diniso.
Really nice opening leap. Switch leap straight into that split 3/4 turn.
Kale score a 9.675.
Great series. This has been just such a beautiful routine. I love how quick she moves in between each skill and her dance choreography. Just the dismount left. And a stuck landing. That should be a huge score for Southern Connecticut.
The Owls keep building, keep performing well in enemy territory. Mind you, they are the away team.
This has been a huge night for Southern Connecticut. They have been so consistent throughout each routine, and that should be a huge score.
Kimberly Smith on floor, a 9.9 for Gregoire, matched her career high, she said a couple weeks ago.
And she has been such a fun performer on this event for Arizona State throughout the year. She really shines with her personality throughout the routine, opening up with a huge double pike and a stuck landing. Great middle pass. And a great double back to finish off this routine.
Smith has had problems with that last pass at times this season, not tonight able to land it. Does a great job in this routine. Sun Devils looking really good here tonight on senior night. But like I mentioned, so is Southern Connecticut. Diniso at 9.825, a new personal best for the freshman in her collegiate career. Angelina Stamfa will follow it up, her first routine of the night.
Balance check on that triple series, but was able to stay on. So that'll likely be a 3/10 deduction instead of the 5/10, which is what it would have been if she would have came off the beam. Just gearing up for the dismount. A round off 1.5 and a slight hop forward, but a really strong routine. Was able to fight and stay on, even though there was that balance check.
Getting a quick replay in of the dismount for Stamfa Smith in 9.825. And now here's Emily White.
A beautiful front handspring right in that front double twist. Incredibly difficult, and it was just performed beautifully. Amazing, round off 1.5, right into that full twist, incredibly difficult, and she has just been electric tonight. What a beautiful night for Emily White on senior night. She has had such incredible performances on every single event.
Also her first time back in the all-around since week 2, and did a very nice job with it. We'll see what that final score comes out to. Stamfa at 9.625. Here's Alexa Melanson at a 9.775 earlier on floor.
Cat leap straight into the front aerial. A balance check on that landing. She was actually supposed to connect that front aerial right into that back handspring in order to get additional bonus. It doesn't look like she's going to repeat that, so that'll likely be a pretty big deduction. That connection likely up for that mistake early in the routine, so she's able to get necessary bonus. Just the dismount a little bit crooked, but was able to hang on to it for the clean landing. I love how she just fought for the entirety of that routine up until the dismount.
Meanwhile, for the Sun Devils, Emily White, have yourself a day. At third, 9.95 for White. That brings her to a 39.65, rounding on her second time in the all-around season, a high for the senior. Jada Mangas looking to follow it up.
It is just rock solid on this event. She'll open up with a huge full-in double back on floor. Right here, full twisting pull back and a stock landing. Do a front turn right into that double back and a stuck landing. Incredible.
That'll likely be another big score for ASU tonight. Melanson finished with a 4 on beam for Southern Connecticut. So with that, they finish 3 on beam, well surpassing, however, what they did on Wednesday.
What an amazing night for Southern Connecticut. This should be a
Exhibition. Gigi Mastalone, or no, excuse me, Angel and Anchor Spot. So they still have one more routine to go. They'll have another opportunity to wipe that score in Melanson.
And this is a solid routine. Up until that fall, she was performing so likely. This score. I mean, this has just been such a great night for Connecticut. They were so consistent throughout every routine. They've had little minor errors here and there, but really soft forms.
So even keeping the score from Melanson, 48-3, another season's best for them on beam. Put their all-around total at 194.4. Should be their best score on the season. So mostly throughout most of the night, a phenomenal night here to end the regular season for.
What a huge night.
And is it their best score? Southern Connecticut set their board in program history, 194.4 right
oh
here.
My God. Hannah finishing up for the Sun Devils, opening up with a huge turn right to that double back and a stuck landing. That just looked so easy for her. Beautiful middle pass with such ease. Final tumbling pass for Hannah Sharp. A beautiful double pike stuck perfectly.
Big routine from Hannah Sharp at Desert Financial Arena. A phenomenal job, a phenomenal night of gymnastics. Both sides. Gigi Mastalone currently competing in exhibition on beam for the very special exhibition happening on for Anaya Smith will compete in an exhibition here on senior night on the competition floor in her home arena. Back to Southern Connecticut, though, and what they did tonight. A 1-4-4, their best score in program history, besting the 194-2 they scored almost 2 years ago to the date. Just a phenomenal night that we've been able to see from them here.
I have so much confidence now going into postseason. I'm so excited for this team. That is a huge score.
Their scores were solid all night, of personal best set on both sides. Sun Devils with Hannah Sharp will look, bump their score, and indeed a 9-9-2 Hannah Sharp. Sun Devils, not only do they go above 197, 197-6 for ASU will do wonders for their NQ. And now here's the night.
So for Anaya to have this moment, she's such a powerful athlete. This should be brilliant. With a pull tuck. She fought for that landing, was able to stay on her feet. Very impressive. Final pass, double make it massive finish.
And what a night for ASU. 96, their highest score of the season that they were able to put up. They do right here, DFA on senior night, their last meet of the season. Certainly some momentum that we will take a sneak and be right back with the Fresno and senior night activity. Final of their season meet of the season for ASU. Some will win Southern Connecticut 197-6, a huge score for them, but also a huge score for Southern Connecticut. Team Nationals 194 for their final four. Event titles pretty simple. ASU took all of them. Anaya Smith 9925, first time in the second time in the all on this season, and picks up team floor and the all-around with a 39 competitor. Jaden Haas and Hannah Sharp. Haas also had a 39.35. Stellar performances all around for both sides. Got to see some phenomenal gymnastics tonight across all four events. Clean meets, no falls counted. Southern Connecticut almost all the way through with no fall. ASU had a couple of falls in their first two, but cleaned it up for beam and floor. Put together 4 full events, something that Jay Santos has been really passionate about getting his team to do. On point during bars, as you see Sarah Clark stuck hers. Just so much great for ASU to take away from tonight's meet.
We saw some highlights from tonight. Anaya Smith on vault, Sarah Clark and her on team. Now, this was Jim Mangahas, a beautiful full twisting double back. We can see the two teams here. Both, they should be so pleased with their performance tonight.
And for Southern Connecticut, they also had a great score. Here's their highlights tonight. For a small school coming to a big Power 5, you're far away from home, from Connecticut down to Arizona. You had a meet on Wednesday days between to come out and put up a score. Incredibly impressive for the Owls.
They have so much to be proud of, especially considering they competed Wednesday. To have a historic night like tonight is huge.
And you see ASU on the floor celebrating their win. So many athletes in sashes that say senior as teams will high five, and in just a moment we'll be watching the senior day celebrations, allowing each of these athletes to get their recognition.
And now the student athletes are just getting ready to prepare for the senior night recognition after ASU rings the bell for the victory tonight. And they will ring it for the amount of wins that they've had throughout the season.
So as ASU celebrates their win and gets ready to highlight its seniors and all the work that they have done for them over the past 4 or 5 years, depending on who it is, we'll get ready to say goodnight here from Desert Financial Arena. Not quite yet. Still taking in the last few moments from tonight's meet. So much great things, both sides we're able to experience here tonight. Gets a lot of people involved, lots of exhibitions. Sun Devils got seniors and exhibitions on almost every rotation. Lilia Perler was the exhibition on vault, but seniors up and down that vault lineup. Emily White, like I mentioned, last minute addition and wins the all around. Just goes to show the depth that ASU has in certain spots that they have been able to put together. This, unfortunately, is the final stream of the gymnastics season. Heather, it's been so much fun working with you all season long. We got to see great gymnastics here at DFA for the home team, and unfortunately it all comes to an end here tonight. Our next broadcast for stream will be tomorrow. ASU softball, they lost tonight to Oregon State, but they'll get another chance in game 2 tomorrow against the Beavers at 5 p.m. That'll be right back here on ASU live stream. But for the Stream Team Productions crew and staff, and once again for Heather Udowich, I'm Tia Reed saying goodnight from Desert Financial Arena.